Alright, here we are, back in
Continue.
Friendsim 2.
Load. Continue. Load game.
Huh.
Continue. Load game.
The pointer's
load game.
off by a little bit. That's
Load.
weird.
Load.
Whatever.
Load slot
So,
4.
yeah,
You don't know why you decided you didn't need directions, or what's leading you through the streets of Alternia. Maybe you want to rely on muscle memory from your past travels, or think fate is pulling you back to the origin of your bond with Amnesia. Maybe you're just really fucking dumb, and are, as usual, relying on dumb fucking luck to sort out your problems.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Your surroundings soon turn more residential, and you really hope that you're traveling in the right direction. Your confidence wanes the further you travel from civilization, and doubt starts to crawl in. Crap, what if this was all a mistake? What if you shouldn't have made that turn? Seriously, what do you think you're doing? Letting fate take the wheel once again as you try to solve problems of various sizes and difficulties. And does that bird-looking thing over there look hungry, or is that just your paranoia? God, what are you saying? Of course it wants to eat you. It's Alternia, for God's sake. You should have just used the troll map quest like Tirona said to. You crest a hill, and at the bottom of it you see a familiar silhouette. Could it be? You run down the hill, quickly catching up with the troll in question. Hey. Amnesia. Wait up.
Oh, it's you! What a surprise!
A good surprise.
I guess we'll find out together. I didn't think I'd see you so soon.
Well, he did say to visit him, didn't he? You'd hate to disappoint a friend. Amnesia beams at you. Oh, speaking of upset, how was he feeling? That last conversation with Tirona got pretty intense back there.
Oh, that? Arguing is pretty normal for us. Tirona is a strong personality, to put it politely. You have to stand your ground with her to be taken seriously.
Oh, don't you know? But it's interesting he would say that. Tirona mentioned that at the beginning the two of you hardly fought at all.
Well, things change. Let's leave it at that for now, okay? Oh, what do you have here with you?
Oh, these. These are the proofs that he was supposed to look over. He left them behind. The ones for the post tomorrow? They got sent to the office by accident.
Yeah, Alternian mail gets weird sometimes and does that. It was nice of Tirona to let you bring them along to me, although they probably should have been left at the office. With you here, there's no way I'm getting any more work done for the publication tonight.
You bite your lip, keeping in a string of curses. Shit. That's not how you wanted to start this. But you know what? You think you can work with this. You can get Amnesia to do this for you. You are persuasive. Amnesia smiles and bounces on the balls of his feet.
Follow me this way. You still owe me a visit. I'll show you around my studio just like old times. At least now all your limbs are properly attached.
You grimace, the memory not as sweet as Amnesia makes it out to be, and you follow Amnesia back to his hive. You are taken inside to what you assume is Amnesia's art studio. Art supplies and half-finished works are littered all over the place, and the faint sour scent of paint taints the air.
Okay, we got another one of these.
Oh, it looks like you're in an area of the city that isn't supposed to be on the tour.
Tour guide, oh, it looks like
Far
you're
be
in
it
an
for
area
me to
of
tell
the
you what to
city
do
that
with your
isn't
time,
supposed to be
but
on
I
the
would
tour.
like to remind you that trespassing in an unauthorized area is an immediately cullable offense. If you happen to find yourself detained by Legis Corpus or a High Blood, check out our best-selling audio guide, So You Are About to Die Alone, forsaken by everyone you thought cared about you. Now available with a handy illustrated insert guide.
I'd apologize about the mess, but I only ever clean when I'm expecting company. And as usual, you are unexpected, and so you get a mess.
No worries. That's pretty much the story of your whole life.
Yes, they would sum up most of our lives, wouldn't it?
Amnesia seems their usual chipper self, but he seems slightly fidgety, like he's a bit uncomfortable. Makes sense, you are seeing a very personal part of his life, one that you bet very few get to see, and you haven't exactly had the chance to reaffirm your unconditional bond of friendship. You don't think that you can bring up changing the post's photos while in this hazy space between friend and acquaintance that is a level away of being promoted to friend. Maybe you should warm him up a bit, get him more comfortable with you before asking to look at the proofs. Getting him to talk about himself for a bit should do the trick, and then you can ease him into conversation about your stuff. Besides, you've never had the chance tonight to catch up with him yet. What better place to do that than in the most Amicia place in the world, his own hive?
Okay,
Save slot 5. Save. Why is his office so messy?
Ooh, I do
Does
want to
he
ask
still
that
talk?
one.
What?
I do want to ask about chocolate stuff.
Why is his office so messy?
We'll look at that.
Oh, sorry, that's probably a rude question.
Yes, it is, but that's alright. I love talking about things that are mine, including my mess. I'm not the type of troll that does well with a clean space for creativity. I like to see everything all at once and let it seep into my think span so I can mix it all together in a sort of super subconscious creativity. Then I scoop up the inspiration that floats to the top and then boom! I can make my art.
Huh. If that is how his creative process works, then you suppose it's not your place to judge. But how does he find anything in all this?
I have a personal process for organizing. I know where everything is, even if to an onlooker it looks completely out of order.
Has Amicia had a lot of onlookers in his studio tell him that?
Only the random ones that were about to join the mess. Otherwise, I don't have anyone to invite to come over.
Oh, he must have some people he can. Wait, back up. Does that mean he's still using trolls for materials?
Of course he is.
Only sometimes. And don't worry, I don't use them for paint anymore. I've mainly switched to real paint now because it's difficult to scan onto a digital platform. Not as fun to source, but it's been fascinating to learn using.
Then what is he doing with his victims if not for that?
Subjects, not victims. And, oh, you know, this and that.
No, you don't. And you're not sure you really want to know.
You sure? I'd be happy to give you a tour and show you how I've used them. If you're well behaved, I'll even consider showing you my latest work that feature organic materials. Some parts might even still be moving. Wouldn't you love to find out?
No, you're good. You're really good. Actually, you'd very much prefer to not find out. Ever, in fact, if that's okay.
A shame. Maybe I can show you next time. In the meantime, was there anything else you were curious about?
Let's see, there's... What are the paintings on the wall?
My artwork, of course. Why would I have anything else there?
When he phrases it like that, yeah, that's a pretty obvious answer actually.
Really obvious. But that gives us a good segue for a new discussion topic. So let's do that. I've expanded my expertise outside of just painting. Sculptures, mosaic, hodgepodge, all of it, and all with a variety of materials now. But it's hard to put on those walls, and painting is still my favorite. So that's what we got here.
They look pretty different from what you've seen him make for Tirona.
Well, of course. These aren't meant to be seen and judged by other people or push a specific idea. These are for me and me alone, for the sole reason that I wanted to make them.
So, in short, they're for fun?
Exactly. They are for my own enjoyment and never meant to leave the studio. I love getting praised for my work, but I need some things that are just for me as well. Tirona doesn't really care about the creativity of the photos she's given. As long as they capture whatever she wants her article to say, she's happy. For me, the creativity is what is being said, if that makes sense.
Does that mean he doesn't like the work he does for Tirona?
Commission work is rarely the most exciting. Whatever bounces around my think pan is always more interesting than anyone tells me to make. Easier too. I don't dislike what I make for the publication. I just prefer making what I want when I want to make it, as any artist does. Politics are something I have a minor interest in, but they aren't my primary passion.
If that's the case, then why is Amicia working with Tirona? Wouldn't Amicia be happier just working on his own?
I've done that before. It was fine, for a while. But then I wanted to try something else for a bit. like working for something other than myself.
Yeah, but Tirona of all trolls? She couldn't be the only one running a publication.
Why not her? She's infuriating, but she's bold. Hardly anyone wants to work with higher bloods. We bring prestige, but we don't have great reputations for being team players. And she knows how to run a business. All I have to do is lay out and source art, and she does the rest. 30,000 trolls and growing get to see and praise my work, and I don't have to lift a finger on Chiter to do it. To use a quote from her, results trump personalities.
You have no idea what that is supposed to mean.
Good for you.
Suck.
I would rather not discuss Tirona anymore, if that's okay. She's fine, but this is my hive, and I get to have some say in what we discuss. Agreed?
Fine. You'll lay off the Tirona chat. It's not like there aren't other things to chat about, right? What is he currently working on?
I'm working on loads of things. What do you want to hear about first?
Oh, well, you guess the thing he's most excited about.
Well, I'm excited about everything. You'll have to be more specific.
Okay then. How about that statue-looking thing over there? It looks like a bathtub.
Ah, you must be referring to my sculpture of an ablution trap. I've been quite pleased with how it's been turning out so far. Don't you agree?
Oh, sure. It's pretty cool. Why is he making a sculpture of one though?
Just felt like it. I wanted to make one, so I did.
Oh, well, in that case, you're happy to hear that he is working on something that he enjoys. It must be hard for him to make time for projects like this with his work for the publication.
Sometimes, but when I ascend, I'll have more than enough time to make my own art. We stay inside our individual domiciles and create our own art all day and night for the expansion of troll arts and culture. Eat, breathe, and shit art, both for the Empire and ourselves. Sounds like a fantasy, doesn't it? I mean, what Indigo doesn't want to be left alone to their own devices for the rest of their lives and work for their government-assigned role?
Wow. It certainly sounds like someone's dream life. But he doesn't sound as excited as he says he should be.
Oh, I don't sound excited? I am. I might be tired and am sounding in ways I shouldn't. You've been having me talk up a storm.
You don't feel like you have. You've been talking for what you feel like is a normal amount between two people.
Well, it's more than I usually talk with Tirona, and she's the only person I talk to nowadays, so yeah, this is a lot for me.
That's too sad for you to comment on. You clamp your mouth shut, and keep looking around for other things to talk about. Conversation. The subject well is running dry, and none of it provided the bridge you needed for bringing up the proofs. Now what?
So, friend, we've talked for a bit. What would you like to do now? I just received a new arrival of paint I've been dying to experiment with.
We go through all
Care to sample it as well? It's fresh.
Well, Amesia. That sounds really lovely. But you have some, bigger things you need to discuss right now before getting to that.
Oh, we've done enough talking, don't you think? It's all you've ever wanted to do since you've come in.
Save.
Okay, let's
Load. Load selected. Load slot. What? Amesia sighs and waves his hand in small circle.
Who has the time anymore? Spending so much time considering my artistic future and trying to keep busy and... It's just a hassle, and now I've got to do it alone, and it's just not the same. I mostly just use pre-made. Did you know half of it isn't even real paint? Not a drop of blood in the stuff. But we make do, I suppose.
Great. You love hearing how artistic materials are not made from body parts. In fact, you have to say those are your favorite type of art materials.
Yes, I've noticed that preference about you as well. Not as fun to talk about or acquire, but alas, people have different tastes.
What are the... 1. Does he still talk to Chahat? Amesia stares at you, and you're getting the sense that you probably shouldn't have asked about this. 1.
Let's see what this,
Amesia.
Amesia.
Selected. Amicia stares at you,
Sometimes I
and
really
you're
miss
getting the sense that you
hands-on
probably
approach
shouldn't
to
have
art.
asked about this
Really
at
getting
friendly
up to
Pollock
your
at friend
elbows in art
selected.
pieces.
Amicia stares at you, and you're
Oh,
getting the sense
is
that
that
you
the sense
probably
you're
shouldn't
getting?
have asked about this. Yes. Surprisingly, Amicia doesn't take this opportunity to summarily disembowel you or whatever. Instead, he groans loudly and rolls his eyes.
She left for Ascension 2 sweeps ago. Gone to the Great Carnival up in the sky now.
Wait, like, the Great Carnival? Like, she's dead.
No, you idiot, I was being poetic. Uncultured waste of... I mean, she's up in orbit, probably. There's a massive ship up there that all the Purple Bloods go to. That's what I've heard, anyway. No way to verify it, of course. It'd be suicidal to even set foot in it in the first place.
But he misses her? Amicia shrugs and turns away from you.
I don't want to talk about it right now.
What is he? What is he currently working on?
Yes,
I'm working on loads of things. What do you want to hear about first?
Oh, well...
Well, I'm excited
you guessed the
about
thing
everything.
He's most excited. Okay then. How about that
you must be
statue
referring...
Sure.
Just felt like...
Oh, well... in that
Sometimes.
case,
I mean, what
you're
Indigo
happy
doesn't
hear
want
that
to be...
Wow.
Oh,
it certainly
I don't
sounds...
sound...
You don't feel like you have.
Well, it's more than I
You've
usually
been
talk...
That's... too sad. Conversation. The subject
So,
well is running
Ren,
dry,
we've talked for...
and none
I
of
just
it
received
provided
a new
the bridge you
arrival of
needed
paint
for
I've been
bringing
dying
out
to
the proofs.
experiment with. Care
Now
to sample
what?
it as well? It's fresh.
Well,
Ruger.
Amicia. That sounds really lovely. But you have some, bigger things you need to discuss right now before getting to that.
Oh, we've done enough talking, don't you think? It's all you've ever wanted to do since you've come in.
Well, yes, you haven't seen each other for a while. You really wanted to catch up,
Yeah, and we're caught up. Let's do something else now.
and you'd love to. You would. And you will definitely do some activities with Amicia, but first you had this teeny tiny thing you wanted to talk about first. It has to do with the publication, and...
You want to talk about the publication more? Boring. Didn't Torona tell you everything already about her operation and whatnot?
She was very thorough, but there was something in particular that you wanted to discuss with him that only he can really help you with. It involves the
I can
proofs
look at
you
those
brought for
later.
tomorrow's
I
article.
don't want to think about
and-
work right now. You're here now. Let's do something together. We've been apart for so long and no one ever comes over for fun on their own free will anymore.
But your thing is really important. You have to get these proofs changed tonight, or else something terrible is going to happen tomorrow. You need him to listen to you.
And I'm asking you to listen to me. I said I don't want to think about the publication right now. You know, you're a lot like art. Something to look at, something to take up space and be appreciated. Not necessarily something to be understood, though. Or,
What?
before you left, I never really gave much interest about what people thought. But time went on, and the planet kept twirling around, and the Empire kept chipping away at Alternia, and it occurred to me how separate all our lives really are. Like here I was living my life without ever once being in any form of contact with my neighbor or the troll that jogs by my window every evening. It's amazing. They're arguably integral parts of my world, little details that complete the picture of my life, and yet I could easily live my life as though they were never there at all.
Look. You have to put your foot down. Moonlight is burning, and lives are at stake. You're not doing anything else with him until he has looked at the proofs, and that's final.
Oh, that's probably a mistake.
Aw, you think you have control over my actions. I always loved it when you got feisty. It almost makes me want to take you seriously. But I really wouldn't say that now is the time for you to act like that. You're not Torona. You don't think that just because a higher blood is working with you that you're suddenly the hottest shit that's ever existed. You're in my hive now. You said you were here for me, so you should do what I say.
But you're not just here for him, okay?
Uh-oh.
You were never just here for him. You are here for a lot more than just him. Amicia looks at you like you have just struck him across the face.
You're... not?
What is that?
You said earlier that you were here to see me, though. That I was priority.
This is gonna be the gets killed
You did,
storyline.
but that wasn't the complete truth. You're here for your other friends here. A lot is going on with Alternia right now. The Empire, the Revolution, the timelines. There are so many important things at play here that you haven't really been able to prioritize anything above your own survival and the person right in front of you. You've been living your life day by day, trying your best to get through each and figure out how the hell you were going to make all of this work out in the long run. In short, you can't afford to prioritize one troll over another right now. No one is special. Not even him. And if he wants to be your friend, he is going to have to understand that. Amicia looks away from you, crestfallen. He's quiet for a long moment.
It's the same as always. In the picture, but never a part of the main subject. A completely separate part of reality that can exist completely independently, whether it wants to or not.
Amicia steps away from you, looking so despondent, clearly lost in his own sad thoughts. Oh, this might backfire on you. Yes, you got frustrated and snapped at him, but you didn't mean to make him feel this bad. Shit, what if he cries? You cannot handle crying people right now. You need to snap him out of this funk you got him in, and you need to do it fast. He'll only feel worse and sink further away from you the longer you don't do something. Save slot 6. Back in your home world, you knew one surefire way to fix someone's mood. You take your palm husk out of your pocket, type some things into it, and silently hand it over to Amicia. He cautiously takes it, and his face lights up as he sees the cute animal videos you just queued up for him. Almost immediately, he starts to smile again.
Aww, look at the little purr beast enjoy their cruel acts of destruction! How sweet!
Right. You forgot the search would look up Alternian versions of cute.
Now they're brutally mutilating each other, so adorable!
He starts to wander off and takes your palm husk with him into the other room, still cooing over the horrible videos. Giving you the perfect opportunity to freak out for a few moments. Holy cow. That was kind of intense back there, with you getting on your high horse and whatnot. Clearly not the best direction you could have taken with that discussion. But what can you say? Your emotions got the better of you. But right now, if you're going to salvage this, you're gonna need to get the thinking juices flowing. You need to get Amicia back on your side. You need to clear your head. Some fresh air might help. It's a bit stuffy here with all smells of the odd art materials permeating the air. There are no easily accessible windows that you could reach and open, but the door's right next to you. Surely Amicia wouldn't mind if you just cracked it open a little to let in a breeze, would he? You go over to it and tug on the handle, but it doesn't budge at all. You tug on it again, and the door still does not move. You conclude that it is locked.
Hey, where are you going?
Shit. Amicia comes back in, clearly upset, no longer holding your palm husk.
Were you trying to leave without saying goodbye?
What, you? Of course not. You were just trying to get some air. The paint fumes, you know.
Then why didn't you say anything?
Oh, well, you didn't want to disturb him while he was watching the videos. That would have been rude, and he really seemed to.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I think you were trying to leave.
What? No. You were just trying to get some fresh air, honest. He can't think you would really do that.
But I don't, do I? I remember you saying I wasn't a priority just 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, but you didn't mean it like that. He's still important to you. You were just trying.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not sad anymore.
Then what is he feeling right now? Amicia doesn't answer. He takes slow, measured steps toward you, his expression unreadable. You start to step backward, away from the door, retreating from him and going further into the studio. Your heartbeat starts to pick up, the tiny hairs on the back of your back standing on end.
You know, I wasn't making it up earlier about you being a work of art. You'd be something nice to look at if you stood still and shut up. You bring up lots of good memories when I looked at you. I would consider how the light hit your face, or how you would be due for another dusting soon. I know a good place where I could hang up something like you too.
Amicia keeps coming forward. You keep moving until your back hits a wall. Then there's nowhere else for you to go, and he keeps moving until he is mere inches from your face.
But I think that's a problem I can solve.
He reaches off to the side, grabbing a large jug from the side table. You can't see what's inside as he lifts it high over your head. For some reason, you can't move your legs. You close your eyes tightly and hope one final time for your powers to miraculously return.
Now just hold still. This shouldn't hurt too much if you cooperate.
He turns the jug over and dumps a clear liquid atop your form. You splutter, the taste vile, not having been smart enough to close your mouth beforehand. Waves of sticky goo cascade down your body, completely coating you. It seeps past your shut eyelids and makes your eyes burn with intense pain. You try to scream, but there is too much of the goo to let you. It comes out as a pathetic choke as it dashes down your throat, sliding to your stomach, tasting so bitter all the way down. You try to bring your hands to your face to wipe the goo off, but they seem to freeze halfway up, staying frozen in midair. In your horror you realize that you can't feel your arms anymore, or your legs. The goo is hardening, turning from liquid to solid frighteningly fast. And as it gets harder to breathe, your orifices clogging with the congealing substance, and a fuzzy blackness starts to consume your vision. Your last thought before you go unconscious is that you hope you look as good as Amicia says you do.
The council will see.
The council will see you now. Try again. Amicia steps away from you. Oh, this might backfire on you. He'll only feel worse and sink further away. Be brutally honest. He was not what brought you to the office building tonight.
Then what brought you to the office if it wasn't for me?
You look up Tirona's earlier Grelp post about the music venue and show it to Amicia. You were here because Tirona made this nasty post about a friend of yours. You came to confront her about it, as well as invite her to join your new timeline. You had no idea that Amicia was involved in any of this. And then you found out that she was running a semi-evil pro-empire digital platform thing, and that she was going to post this really scary post the next day and had to beg her to change it, and then you two got in a big fight
And you came here with the proofs with the hope that I would reject and change the photos before the article goes live tomorrow to get her to not post the article the way it currently is?
Wow, he picked up on that way faster than you were expecting. But in short, yes. You would have come for him some other time, you're sure. It just wasn't tonight.
Why are you telling me all this? Why bother with telling me the truth when you could have just lied or tricked me and have me do this for you already?
Yeah, you probably could have. But you hadn't thought of doing that. Not for a moment.
Why not?
Because yes, these proofs need to be changed, and there are lives at stake, but you're his friend. You don't know how many times you have to drill it into his thick skull, but believe or not, despite all of Amicia's quirks, despite all his threats and weird-ass tendencies, you want to make him a priority. You want to be his friend and want to spend time with him. Just because he wasn't at the top of your mind when this night started doesn't change that. Friends are part of each other's lives, not their entire lives. Even when they have other important shit to do and can't be physically there all the time, they remember each other. Hadn't he remembered you? Amicia stares at you for a long moment, absorbing everything you said. You're starting to feel that you might have made a breakthrough. Then without a word, he turns and runs out the front door. Whoa, wait up. You place the proofs on a nearby side table and chase after him, not bothering to close the door behind you. 1. Your cerulean ranked legs come in handy. You're just able to see the back of Amicia as he bolts out of his hive and out into the woodlands behind his hive. 1.
Oh,
Ah, the Trizatethis Park. What better way to unwind and relax after a long day of touring Everdim? Take a seat under the trees and take in the lovely night air. Enjoy a stroll around the pond and gaze at the majestic floating water bird beasts. Keep in mind that the bird beasts are extremely venomous and we do not recommend you attempt to feed, pet, or make direct eye contact with them. We hope you've enjoyed our self-guided tour and we encourage you to spend lots more time exploring our wonderful city and everything it has to offer. Everdim, if you're here, at least you're temporarily alive.
Thankfully, there is a path that you can follow, so even as you lose sight of him you are able to run full speed without fear of tripping on a root and having a plant eat you or something. Thankfully,
messages.
selected.
Really
Thankfully,
sick of having to
there is a
talk about
path
the
that you
Empire
can
all the
follow.
time, if I'm being totally
Selected.
honest.
Thankfully, there is the path ends and you are at a clearing. And then you see Amnesia. He is sitting by the edge of the pond, expression pensive as he stares out across the crystal smooth top of the water. You tread over carefully to them, keeping a few yards distance from him. You suspect that he would prefer to have some space. Amnesia does not acknowledge you. A few minutes pass and you sit down, your legs and butt getting slightly moist from the cold grass and dirt. You feel that you're close to something big here. You just have to get him to open up a little bit more, and you'll be able to really reach him. Quit game. Save.
All
Next
right,
file.
I think it's a good
Save
place
slot
to
1.
stop
Save
for
slot
now.
1. Sunday,
the message
July
did
30th,
just say he doesn't want to talk about the
2023,
Empire, so
2212,
that's going to be the
Route
first
8,
thing we're going to do
Path to
next
Salvation
time, so.
selected.
Alright, till next time.
Save. Main. Save. Yes. Volume 11.